The window pane.
I just love it. It puts me in a good mood. I feel very zen today.
Me too. It's like a little taste of living in the Pacific Northwest. I miss rain out here.
Yeah.
I'm from mid-Michigan. You're surrounded by lakes. You get a ton of rain rolling through. You just don't see it. How long has it been? 50 some days?
Yesterday, we capped it off at 53 days. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. You got a hair on you.
Oh, thank you very much.
That off.
Shedding like a dog. Look at that. 53 days is where we capped it off with dry weather. As the rain rolled in yesterday, the winds are also whipping out there, as you saw by Old Glory flapping in the winds. We're throwing a lot of rain at the West Valley right now. In fact, you can see here on the big picture that the valley is the bullseye for the heavier stuff. So let's zoom in here. The National Weather Service actually just issued a flood advisory right now, which is taking hold for Buckeye, Goodyear, Avondale, Peoria, Surprise, Sun City. Well, go figure. That's because look at all of that heavy stuff right now being flung out of the clouds. You see the yellows, the oranges, and the reds. That could be some stinging rain and maybe even some small hail when you see some of those brighter colors. And that is sliding from west to east. And we've got some light showers right now in the East Valley.
Let me ask you an inside baseball question.
Yeah.
How do we know what it looks like, how different it is on the ground when you're looking at greens, yellows, reds, oranges? Where do those colors, where does that demarcation come in?
Doppler radar 101. Green is your lighter stuff. The very, very light green could be sprinkles, or maybe even virga. And then when you get to the yellows, that's more moderate rain. So a nice little bit steadier rain. Then you get to the oranges, and that's heavier stuff, and red is very heavy. And sometimes when you see the reds or even the pinks, when those show up, that could indicate really big raindrops or perhaps even some small hail. And some of these showers and storms that have erupted in, the last 12 hours have been pretty feisty and capable of putting out a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So that flood advisory could very easily turn into a flash flood warning. That's why more than 5 million Arizonans are on watch right now for flash flooding, because the potential is there.
Yes.
Plus the lightning, plus the gusty winds, plus the threat for hail. So let's go through futurecast, shall we? Going to roll the clock here, and we could still be stuck in the action just before lunchtime. You still see all of those bright colors around the valley. And then look at that, more rounds of showers and storms with our name on it. Still some dots of green around the valley at 9:30 this evening. So while you're getting tucked away for the night, you might hear some rumbles of thunder. That's also when snow levels are going to start to drop overnight below 8,000 feet. Right now they're at 8,000, but they're going to drop all the way to 6,000 feet in the AM hours. And so we'll be seeing more flakes flying. Look at all those scattered showers and storms throughout the afternoon tomorrow too, before we send the storm system packing by the AM hours on Friday. Bye-bye. Kiss it goodbye. Thanks for coming.
Woo!
Thanks for coming. We needed the rain. We're chipping away at that deficit, more than 3 inches behind the rain game at this point in the year. It's ridiculous. So finally, we're starting to quench that thirst for rain, but you can have too much of a good thing, and that's why you see this flash flood watch taking grip over a huge chunk of the state. On top of that, because of the snow levels and perhaps even reduced visibilities from blowing snow, we have a winter weather advisory and a winter storm warning in pink. So this is going to cover the higher terrain above 6,000 feet. So we're watching that. Snow levels starting off at 8,000 feet, dropping to 6,500 feet this evening, and then overnight at a minimum 6,000. This is where we think the snow is going to leave its footprint. Look at all that blue and purples pasted all over the high country. This could translate to nearly 2 feet of snow at our area ski resorts, so Sunrise and Snowbowl. Up to a foot in Alpine, Forest Lakes, maybe about a half of a foot or a little more for the North Rim, Jacob Lake, Flagstaff, several inches in Pinetop Lakeside, and a few inches for the Grand Canyon and Heber. So Mother Nature, well done with the timing, because just in time, it's opening day at Arizona Snowbowl on Friday.
Yeah. Woo!
So nature made powder to go play in. How about that?
And that's a natural segue to what we're talking about today. We're trying to settle the classic debate on the after show.
Settle it.
Real Christmas tree or an artificial one? Extol the virtues of either in the comments section below. If you've never seen this show before, we try to incorporate everything you say into what we say. So let your voice be heard, and we'll dip into the comment section periodically throughout our discussion. Let's start there with Gina, who is sending all sorts of positive vibes our way on a rainy Monday morning. Says, love you guys. You make our morning every day. Well, thank you. You make ours for watching.
Today's Wednesday,
Gina.
And she's polite, too. She said, you're welcome, after I replied there. Michael says he can't wear his Jordan 1s today. You can't wear the nice sneakers outside. You're just going to get them all muddied up. keep the nice sneaks at home.
I can't find my rain boots because obviously I've not worn them since I moved here.
Right.
So I had to wear my Uggs, and I was nervous they were going to get wet.
Hashtag
I
Ugg
wore my
life.
Uggs too, but they keep your feet so warm.
I know, they're the best.
Yes.
Really.
It's
What's the
freezing.
male equivalent of Uggs?
So Ryan Cody
He
has
had Uggs on.
Uggs. Male booty Uggs. That's what I was trying to tell you to look at his
Can we get off the
booty
Frozen
Uggs.
video for a second and get the shock, the bewilderment on our faces as we described Ryan's footwear this morning?
Yesterday, I saw the front of his shoes and I saw the tread and I'm like, that looks vaguely
Mm.
He's like an Ugg.
Yeah.
He's very
He had 'em
fashion
on.
forward.
And then I
that
came
Ryan
around
Cody.
the side and I was like, he's like, they're male Uggs and they have laces
Mugs.
on them. Mugs, if you will.
Mags.
Like it.
They're like a lace-up booty, and he says on the inside it has the same like
Huh.
that. What is it? Shearling?
Like the-
no, it's a wool.
Yeah,
it's like a wool inside.
sheep-
Sheep something.
I wish I was a size 6 because I'd steal
Some
them.
big
but-
fluffy thing died to go inside of
Oh my
Ryan Cody's
God.
shoe.
Thank you.
Don't say
I'm glad you
that.
picked up on that.
They're tuned into, like, they know how to ignore you, but I heard it.
Yeah.
Us ladies have our boots on.
Is he around over here? No, he's gone. He
No,
stepped out of
My
the
boots
studio.
have heels,
You guys are
but I do
booties.
have tennis shoes.
I went the
Booties.
full boot. I got nervous.
You got the full
There's
one.
a lot of shoe decisions today.
Yeah, it was hard.
Are you guys getting the push notification from 12 News asking
God,
you to subscribe to
it's
their
so
alerts?
annoying.
Cut it out.
You can't reduce it.
I'm
I keep
sorry if that's
reducing
happening
it,
to you at home. Mine
and it
keeps popping up. I'm
popping
sorry
up.
about that. I can't control Facebook.
I know, it's very
It's a
annoying.
Mark Zuckerberg thing.
Because it's
Get
already
him in
giving
here.
me, I already get the live update, so I don't know why it's telling me.
These people.
Everybody is loving the rain.
I know.
I love it for a
And
short
Peggy's
period
loving
of
your
time.
beard.
But
What? Beard?
Peggy's loving
Oh,
your
Peggy
your
likes
beard.
it, yeah. Somebody, I posted a little update on social media yesterday, a little beard update, because I don't ever post on Instagram, and I felt like I just should post something every once in a while to remind people I exist. And I had one person say, it'll look really good when you hit puberty. I was like,
Burn.
I was wondering when I saw that picture yesterday, how many selfies did you take?
6.
Okay.
6, and then that was the best one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, transparency.
Yeah, you
They had
have
to get the angle right because I feel like the left side of my face is the good side, so I had to get the profile shot, but like not too much
Right.
to the side, and then you got to tilt the chin up because you get this look here, and that's never good.
Oh my God, I'm awful in selfies.
Listen, if
I
I could
hate
have someone else
selfies.
take pictures
Yeah.
of me, that'd be great.
I don't
me
do well
any
with selfies.
favors.
It is
I
what
have a
it
very
is.
long face. I have a large head. It's not selfies are not a good thing for me.
Let's talk about our insecurities. Forget about the
Right?
Christmas
Yeah,
tree debate.
fair.
Where do I begin? Well, I have
Yeah.
a very large head.
I feel like my forehead's getting
My
bigger every
forehead's
year.
too
It's like an 8 head
big.
now. It's too
Viewers
much.
tell me that my forehead's too big. I'm like, there's.
You do not have a big
And they
forehead.
say I should get bangs, but I tried once.
Don't get bangs,
Trust me, it
no.
was not good. So I just leave my giant forehead as
Just
I
wear a
don't have a big
baseball hat.
forehead. You just own it.
I'm like speechless over
I
here.
don't
I'm
have
like,
a choice.
You
I
do
have
not
to
have a
own
big
it.
forehead.
No, not at all.
This has turned into a group therapy session
Sorry.
for our insecurities. I'm
Share
sorry.
the love. Share the love.
Already.
Russell says he loves watching every morning too. We appreciate you, Russell. You're always popping into the comment section to say hi. We like to see the
Russell.
regulars. It's like Cheers in here. We
Gina.
know your name, but mostly because it shows up.
Gina says her tree stays up year round. You
What?
already know.
Wait,
Gina.
okay, where do you
round.
keep it, Gina? If you got it up year round, you don't keep it in your living room year round, right?
She's like, my neighbors think I'm crazy.
Well, you
They
might be, but
sending a well check for you. When
Sherry says she
we had a
uses.
neighbor who had Christmas decorations up for a long time. We did do a well check.
Oh no, and it wasn't good news.
Oh no!
So Gina, just for the safety and
Let your neighbors know
well-being-
you're okay.
Oh my gosh, that's
At least
scary.
change the decoration. So when it's Easter, put eggs on the
Yes.
tree. Halloween, put
Fresh.
the ghosts on the tree.
Some signs of life in
Yeah.
the house are always good. Trust me.
That took a dark turn, Rachel.
Yeah,
You need to give us a
sorry.
warning next time. Jeez. Hey, by the way, we checked on my neighbors one time and they were dead. Ah!
Well, that would work
Man.
for me because I like a
won't
real tree.
elaborate for your sake.
Okay.
No, I don't want to know.
You're going
That's
for the
an
real
after show
Why?
story.
Why are you sold on the?
I am all for the real tree, and it's just because of tradition
Change it.
of what I've done since we were a little girl. Like we always went and found the tree
Yeah.
at like Home Depot or one of the trees.
Ah, yes, in the forest.
It was already cut down for us,
Yes.
and so we just always had a real tree. It's just something I've always done, you know.
So I was a convert. I was always a real tree person growing up, loved it, insisted on it, lived for it. And then my husband, in recent years, converted me. And so he, after the holidays, he goes to Costco.
Fake tree evangelist, this guy.
I know. So he converted me. So after the holidays, he went to Costco and he got one of those 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And it's pre-lit and he pops it up and it's gorgeous. And I'm like, well, it is a lot easier. It sits in a giant zip body bag in my garage and we pop it out.
She's got a lot
Not
going
with my
on with the
former
body
neighbor.
bag and the
Yeah.
neighbor. So was the neighbor in that body bag?
Oh,
Story for another day.
I don't know if you guys realize this in the comments, but this show's not scripted. It's all off the cuff, so buckle up.
Yeah, so I will say that I miss like that natural pine smell. So like I've said before, at Michael's we found these little hanging things you can put in the tree that make it smell like real pine, and it is awesome. But I think my little one was getting like a chronic runny nose with the real tree. So I noticed it's not a problem anymore. Did he grow out of it? Very possible.
Yeah.
So I have no idea if there's any real correlation to that. But I will say it is nice when we're like, oh, we don't have to plan the whole trip to go get the tree and
But that's
tying it
part
on
of
the
the
roof and
fun.
dragging it in the house and sweeping up the needles that fall out.
Yeah.
Nope, we just pop it up in 2 seconds and Christmas has arrived.
Bud says it was a real tree for years for him, and then reality kicked in. And then he says fake just sort of made sense. And I think it's probably the same conversation you were having with your hubby.
Yeah, I just got worn down, and then I was like, well, I was the one having to coordinate this whole trip anyway with the 2 kids in tow, and it was my parents. So, yeah.
Life will beat you down like that, man. Diana says, I prefer the smell of a fresh tree, but don't care for the falling needles. Yeah, that is the conundrum, is it not?
And I keep it up for so long, too. And when you live in somewhere hot and dry, and I do water it, Paul, you asked me about that. I do water it.
It's important.
But it's when you put it up right after Thanksgiving, which we like, and we only take it down after New Year's.
Yeah, let's establish. You don't take your tree down until after New Year's, right?
After.
That's not a 12/26 move. That's a January 1st, 2nd, 3rd.
And then our
4th,
story
5th move.
today, where they're like, oh, well, you can save 30% on the tree if you get it 3 weeks. Or no, what was it?
A week before Christmas is what
I'm
it
like,
was.
a week before Christmas?
Nah,
That's what I do.
No, but then I'm like, it's not even worth putting up
with
all
a
those
real tree?
That's a lot of work.
Nah, man, if
Just
you're going
the past
real-
couple of years I've done that only because I've been so busy, first of all, and then second, it's like, oh my god, it'll last longer. So then it's a good deal. So,
It is a good deal.
She's a dealsman.
yeah. So and I do keep it up. There's some religious thing where you have to keep it up for so many days after New
yes.
Year's. I forget how many.
The religious
it is.
thing.
I just follow my family's tradition. I don't know all the details of it. But my mom's like, you can't take your tree down yet. I'm like, okay. So
Like Russell, he's getting the Charlie Brown tree this year. I know. My mom makes fun of my tree because she likes a fat tree and we like a long, skinny tree. And so that's always the debate every year. I don't like a fat tree.
There's only 99 other people here in the valley that have my tree because a Black Friday deal was to be the first 99 in line for a 99-cent tree.
Woo!
What?
And my mom stood in line for me. And that tree is still kicking. It's
Thanks, Mom.
6 foot, pre-lit, for 99
So it's
cents.
artificial.
It is artificial.
And you pop it up.
And I pop.
6
I do
footer?
the 1, 2, 3, 6 feet.
You can do it by yourself.
It's yes, and it's very Charlie Brownish. It's very sparse, so you got to load it with ornaments, and then it looks full.
I think that's our secret because our tree is like, my mom doesn't like the shape of it, whatever. But I'm like, we have so many decorations, and I'm like, the tree is just a vessel for all of my awesome decorations.
Right.
It's very crowded.
The tree is the tortilla chip with which you're eating the spinach and
guac.
artichoke dip or the guac or the queso. It's really not all that important. It is just a means to an end.
It's gonna just hang all of my stuff.
For me, it's about tradition as well. When I was a kid, we actually went out to a tree farm. And we would go walking through and we would pick out the tree that we thought looked best. And Dad would always pick one that's too big for the living room, yada, yada, yada. You cut the thing down, you tie the sucker up, you put it on the top of the van, it doesn't fit. 14-year-old Paul hanging out the side with one hand on the OF bar and then the other one on the tree itself. And then you get it home and you set the thing up and it's too big. We got to get the hacksaw out and cut it down a little bit. It's part of the experience. Now, as a bachelor living alone, it's a different experience, and it involves a trip to the Home Depot generally.
Right.
Yeah, where I go putz around the lot, and it's like that one or this one, or shoot, I don't remember if this is the one where all the needles fall off or if it's the other one. And then you ask the tree salesman.
Tie it to the roof, or do you?
No, we have a problem this year. We have a problem. So in years past, I was always driving a beater, and I've driven a beater my whole life until this year when I finally got a decent car. And so I had no problem with either tying it to the roof and scratching the hell out of it, or chucking it in the back seat and just dealing with the needles. I don't really want to do that this year. I don't want to put the tree in my car. So I got to figure out a way to get it home. I'm going with you.
Blanket.
We'll just
Somebody
go together.
suggested you got to put the blanket.
yeah, you
on
put
the
a
roof,
sheet or blanket on the.
and then you tie it on the. You
Not
don't trust
doing
Because
that.
you're not even getting a hull huge tree because you live in an apartment. So you
Yeah,
don't
but it's
make it
still
a
a
big one.
6-foot tree at least, you know. I could fit it in the car. I just don't want to deal with it. And although vacuuming out the needles is like a sort of rite of passage, and I'm probably going to have to do it to get rid of the tree, I don't really want to do it the first time. I'll have to rent a truck or something for $20.
Well, you know what'd be a good idea is, get the big tree bags and put your tree in there initially and put it in your
there you
trunk
go.
and then pull it out.
It's not going to fit now. It's not going to work like that.
It will.
That's
I'm gonna
not
try it.
the logistics.
Try it.
I don't know. All right, if you guys have any suggestions, I'm happy to hear
How about
it.
going with a palm tree?
I like
That's what Barbara
Barbara,
does. Palm
yeah.
tree or a cactus.
Cute.
Very Arizona-y.
I like that. What else is going on here? My thing has an error, so.
Oh, cool.
Error.
Error.
Let's get to some more of your comments here. Diane says, my hubby also came home with a fake tree. Used it once. No real tree, so no tree now. What? What do you mean no tree, Diane? I had 1 year where I didn't put up a tree, and I felt so bad about
No,
it.
I think I've always done
I said never again. I did.
Feels
You can't
weird,
get
right?
into the spirit of the season.
No,
you know?
you gotta have the tree. Even if it's, I've had like when I lived, my very first jobs, I would just have a sad little plant and I would put but I had to have something. I had to make at least an attempt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of the tradition, right?
Valerie says her tradition is to go up north with the parents, buy a small real one for our room and a big artificial one in the living room. What's the most Christmas trees you've ever seen at somebody's house?
Oh my gosh. So I had a friend who literally, I swear she had one in every room. It was like the sitting room had one, the dining room had one, the main living room, and then the kids
Gosh.
had one in each of their rooms, like mini ones. Yeah, she was hardcore.
My buddy had 6. He had 6 trees in his house. One in his
too
finished
many.
basement, one in the living room, one in the family room, tiny ones in the bedrooms, and one in like the entryway. Like they were just everywhere. There are trees everywhere. Who has time for this?
That's
Nobody.
a lot of tree, yeah.
Nobody. That's amazing.
All right, hey, we got some fresh squeezed juice in this show, don't we?
We do?
Do we have some fresh squeezed juice in
Didn't
the
bring a
show?
roller.
Oh, let's
in
do it in
case
case
you
you
missed
missed it instead.
Oh, there's an ICYMI?
Yes.
Well, roll it. What did we miss this morning on Today in AZ? I was here for the show, maybe not present.
Now it's time for the answer to our juicy question of the morning. Here it is again. The average American has 9 of these, but never uses 3 of them. Let's check in with your text messages.
Fingers.
Vacation days. That's from Brian and
Oh,
Scott,
yeah.
so that's a great one.
actually a good guess.
We have 13 cutting boards and only use 2 of them. That's from Mark. And then credit cards, someone said.
9 credit cards? No way.
Well, maybe if it includes store cards.
The answer is
Golden snitches.
like, what is the answer?
Flying dragons.
Keys. Oh.
Yeah, that makes
That is
sense,
true.
actually.
Yeah.
I have almost as many bottle openers on my key ring as I do keys. And somebody asked me recently, like, what are you going to open up a whole bunch of bottles at once? You only need one.
You gotta be prepared, Paul.
Self-defense mechanism. Swing the keys around.
Wow. That's a lot of bottle openers. to have.
I got 3 on there now. I was exaggerating a little bit, but they're big and clunky. Like, I'm not the kind of guy
Why?
who
Just
can
because you
really...
like the way they look?
Well, yeah, and they're my favorite breweries, and
They're
I got
useful.
one as a gift, and the other one,
Souvenirs.
yeah, I guess I should put them somewhere else.
In your
I also have a
kitchen?
Costanza wallet that's like this thick, but it has nothing in it. I don't even understand how it gets to be that big. These are man problems, guy problems, #bro problems. Russell, real quick. Oh, hold on, no, wait a second.
Wait.
We got to go back to that real fast because we were all confused by
Right.
the Juicy
I didn't
Q
get the video at first.
Yeah, because so
thought
there
it
was a
was
key
brooms.
attached to the golden snitch in that scene in the Harry Potter movie, and it was so oddly
It's a
specific.
subtle clue.
We didn't even say snitches get stitches, and that was such a great opportunity to do so.
Well, is there another movie or video that you could think of that had keys that would have stood out more than that? Since
Yes.
what?
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
we
Just
don't.
to rack my
Cindy was
brain.
asking, do we not watch Harry Potter?
No, we don't watch Harry
So I
Potter,
didn't
so
get it.
I wasn't familiar, so it took me a second.
All right.
Initially, before we gave the answer, I thought maybe it was magnets or chip clips.
Chip clips a good guess.
I thought
What do
it
you
was
get? 9
phone
open bags of
chargers
chips?
/ cords.
9 phone chargers.
That's a lot
Wow,
of phone
we have a
chargers.
lot.
That is a lot.
But people keep stealing them within my home.
Thieves.
Who are you letting into your home?
No, my children, my husband. So I put my
She keeps
name
letting the kids back in.
I started buying only rose gold pink ones to try to deter
There you go.
the thievery. I put hearts on them with like a red marker. I try everything, and sure enough, I see them in other people's bags,
Oh, I see.
rooms.
That is too funny.
All right, let's get to a few more of your remarks before we close the show out. I think everyone's watching the impeachment hearings this morning. I don't blame you. Supposedly, Gordon Sondland's
He's
testimony
the
is
star
supposed
of
to
the
change
show.
the game today. I need to watch some of that myself. But before we go, a couple more remarks about the trees. Valerie said, my friend's mom had 7 minis in the bathroom.
Wow.
Not sanitary.
mini-
The poop trees.
Like
Yeah.
a real tree in the bathroom?
Julie says Uber trees, and Russell recommended that you get Lyft to deliver a tree. They don't do that, do they?
Nice. Maybe if you get one with the truck.
I might. There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Ask them if they have a truck. Get the truck one.
Instead of Uber Eats, Uber Trees.
Yes, do it.
All right, Deborah says we finally broke down, purchased an artificial one. Real ones triggered by migraines. I got some allergy issues. Yeah, that's no fun. You got to shake the thing off first.
Christmas when you walk
some
in and
critters
it's
in there.
beautiful.
I bet you couldn't even tell that mine's fake if you came over because it's that
Take a
good.
picture of it.
Is that an invite?
Is that good? I am.
I'm going to come steal some iPhone chargers. Here, you got a few extra ones.
I'm coming over. What night you guys have that Taco Tuesday where you make your yummy tacos?
I know. We had it Monday this week.
Oh.
Yeah, you missed it. Sorry. Tomorrow
week.
morning, 7:30, Today in AZ After Show. Different topics, same 4 annoying voices. We'll see you then.
Mine's a little nasally right now, so sorry.
That's what I had from last week.
Thanks.